Hey everybody, KC here. So we've spoken often here on Morning Newsbeat about how important it is for businesses to create a frictionless environment. Any kind of business, but especially in retailing. Listen, Glen Terbeek, Morning Newsbeat fave, was talking about this decades ago when he wrote a book called Agentry Agenda, Selling Food in a Frictionless Marketplace. And listen, I think eliminating friction is even more important now than it was all those years ago when Glenn wrote this book. You know, there's a lot of negative things that people can say about the airport experience. But the invention of TSA PreCheck, and even before that of Clear, well, man, I got to tell you, those are harbingers of exactly how businesses ought to be thinking in terms of eliminating friction. Think about EasyPass or whatever version of EasyPass you may have on the highways and bridges on which you travel. Anybody want to go back to the system before that, where you need coins or dollars or whatever and had to pay a person at the toll booth? Now, Axios has a really interesting story about how both startups and existing companies are really working hard to figure out ways to eliminate long lines, just in general, trying to figure out how they can get rid of long and physical lines. And the thing is, we know that some companies have started to figure this out, right? Physical lines have disappeared in like theme parks, for example, doctor's offices, clothing stores, and they're being replaced by systems which allow you to basically get a digital place in line, and then they let you know when you're available to come in. We see this happening a lot with restaurants. Now, Y-Line is an Argentinian company, and it's actually just been acquired by Clear. And basically, it's an app that allows users to register and then be informed digitally when their place in line comes up, so they don't actually have to physically stand there. It's a really, really smart thing to do. And when you think about the checkout free experiences offered by like Amazon Go and the clients of Standard Cognition, what are these except ways of getting rid of lines, right? That's exactly what it is. They're addressing the problem in the system. They're looking at the friction and they're just getting rid of it. You can even think that way about, I suppose, self-checkout systems, except that I'm not sure I want to use them as an example because there's a technology that hasn't really evolved very much since the George H.W. Bush administration. Whoever figures out how to make self-checkout actually different and better, you're going to make an awful lot of money. Now, listen, not everybody's going to be able to invest in technology solutions. Some companies simply are not going to have the resources, or they're not going to have a culture that's going to embrace technology solutions. And that's okay. But it seems to me that even those companies have to look at figuring out how to remove friction from the system. If you can't get rid of the checkout line, or you can't figure out ways to make it move faster, then you at least better figure out a way to make it the best checkout line that people ever been on. Whatever you do, you have to figure out how to engage with the problem and create a real solution. Either fix it or compete with it. You don't really have any other choice. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.